Hey guys, how we doing? Going to be picking up in the kind of little run we've been doing this week, chatting about the weekend ahead, different positions, and I mean in terms of the pitch, attackers and defenders we spoke about so far. And I wanted to take today into that kind of minefields that you have in Football Index, which is midfielders. Okay, now again, I've got a few people I'm going to kind of just steer your attention towards and explain a little bit why. None of these are really short term in terms of match days and stuff like that, but maybe just a wee bit more to the future with like the summer window coming up, European fixtures that might be taking place, and different bits and pieces. Okay, so there's actually three on this page here. Piotr Zielinski, Amadou Haidara, and Gonçalo Guedes. Okay, so all three of these guys are classed as midfielders in Football Index. Okay, first of all, Haidara, right? You can see he's trading at £1.81. For a lot of last year when I was involved in this, when I first came in March last year, it was less than a pound, and you can kind of see his gradual increase. This guy plays for Salzburg, and it says he's a defensive mid. I've really he plays centre mid. I've seen him playing against Celtic twice this year, and he's really a really really good centre midfielder. He scores a lot in Europa League, and Salzburg guys especially, as much as Leipzig are kind of like the big team in that family. Players leave Leipzig and go to other places. Salzburg, I beg your pardon. They leave Salzburg and they go to different clubs. They don't all go straight to Leipzig, So, like Sadio Mane, for example, he left Salzburg and went to Southampton rather than going to Leipzig. Other people do the more traditional route of Salzburg to Leipzig to then the Premier League, like somebody like a Naby Keita. These types of guys, But I see this guy, he's a hard-working kind of midfielder, scores goals, he's all over the pitch, and he's somebody who will have, he's got the Europa League run. Last year, Salzburg got to the semi-finals of the Europa League, so that's definitely not beyond any stretch of the imagination. They could have a good run this year, because the team, they're in the same group as Celtic and Leipzig, and Leipzig were the team that didn't qualify, believe it or not. So Salzburg are definitely not mugs. I've seen them at Celtic Park this year, and they are a really good team, and they will take some beating in that Europa League. It will take a top side to knock them out over two legs, and I expect this guy, if they do face a top side like an English league team for example, to get a lot more attention. And if you look back at Keita's kind of chart, as soon as he got linked to Liverpool and then signed for Liverpool, he just went through the roof. He's trading up at £4 or £5 stuff like that, even though last season for Leipzig he was very poor. So this is somebody I want to draw your attention to real quickly. Amadou Haidara. Second person, Zielinski. Okay, now Zielinski is probably somebody you're familiar with. He's been linked on and off with England at least for the last 12 months, maybe 18 months at a push. Centre midfielder for Napoli, brought through under Sarri. It was before he went to Napoli. He was very close to joining Liverpool. When Klopp first came in, I want to say it might have been Rodgers, but Liverpool were really close to signing him, and then he went to Napoli instead. Played under Sarri, was very good. Didn't really have the World Cup a lot of people expected him to have, including myself. I had him for the World Cup in my index. I had him down at about £1.20 odd. Took him for a nice wee rise into the World Cup, and then that dip you see down towards the £1.80 mark, it was when Poland got knocked out. But this season, this summer, especially if Sarri stays in situ at Chelsea, I could definitely see this guy making a move to the Premier League, to a Chelsea or a Liverpool. Klopp is not shy about buying midfielders. He's not shy about reinforcing the squad in any way, shape or form. And also Sarri likes the guys. Sarri has just signed Higuain, so again he might be looking more. He's also signed Jorginho already. He's got a pattern already established at Chelsea of buying former players, and a big part of the thing that everyone's talking about now at Chelsea is the midfield. They're playing this one in the wrong position. Jorginho has been sussed out. People are on him, not giving him the time to pass the ball, etc. So it's a very reasonable assumption this guy could become the Premier League in the summer, and he already has that pre-established ceiling that we like to see of over. In his case, you're looking at something about the £2.20 mark. So even in this current situation, £1.77, you hold him till the summer. He's also got the potential with Napoli being a top team in Italy to get goal and assist bonuses the first 30 days you hold him, and then in general you might get some buzz wins, best midfielder on the day if Napoli maybe have a Tuesday night game or something like this. But then in the summer, when the summer window picks up, he'll definitely be linked with teams again, and that's when you can see, if you look there, it's kind of August into September, the transfer window closing is when he gets right up to that peak when people think he's about to move. Okay, so Zielinski's at a great price now for that. Gonçalo Guedes. Okay, so this guy left Benfica, I want to say, the same time as Renato Sanchez. Renato Sanchez very famously went to Bayern Munich for 35 million. This boy left for Paris Saint-Germain, and he went really under the radar because he wasn't doing for Benfica what Sanchez was doing. But he's equally as talented. Went to Paris Saint-Germain, didn't really get a kick in the ball. They put him on loan last season to Valencia. I believe Valencia now own him. I believe Valencia bought him. But he's another one of these guys who his agent is Jorge Mendes. You know what I mean? He's a really good attacking player. He's been really good for Valencia. And he's somebody who, again, at £1.76, Valencia are doing, okay in the Spanish league. They're about mid-table. They've definitely got room for improvement, but they've still got Europa League games to play. They play Celtic in the Europa League, so they're probably going to get knocked out. But then come the summer, will he stay? Will he move on? Will he go back to Paris Saint-Germain? I'm not too sure if they've bought him or not, but when Jorge Mendes is your agent, guys, anyone can move to anyone. If you just look at Wolves' team, who would have imagined if they signed Raul Jimenez, João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, these types of guys, so he's another midfielder we want to be keeping an eye on for the rest of the season going into the summer. And then the last one I kind of want to have a wee quick chat about is maybe on the shorter term. You can see his name already typed up in here, is N'Golo Kante right now. With midfielders, guys, with me, I like to have midfielders that can offer a bit of everything, okay? They've got the potential to bag a goal, bag an assist, and they're busy players who'll probably get the best part of 90 minutes, passing, tackling, so they give you a good opportunity to net as much money as possible. And this guy ticks all the boxes. Now, you may be wondering, why is Kante so cheap? If you're not wondering, you probably know the answer. The answer to that is he is not playing in his normal position now. We kind of touched on that with Chelsea a second ago with Sarri. It wants to see him going forward a little bit more. Now, for the rest of the season, three main things could happen, right? Three main things, right? The first one is Sarri gets sacked at some point, which I don't see happening, okay? But we need to discuss that. He might get sacked, and if he does, next manager in, first thing he does is he puts Kante back to his normal, Makelele role, sitting in front of the back four, breaking up play, being two players at once, just for how great his stamina is. So that's that. The other one, Sarri sticks with his philosophy, keeps playing Kante the way he's been playing him, which is probably the most likely outcome out of the three that will happen. Kante picks it up because he's a really humble guy. We all know about Kante, and he's not one of these guys that he was embarrassed to get a picture with the World Cup after he won the thing. It's incredible. But he sticks with it. He takes all of his manager's advice on, and eventually he cracks it, and he starts scoring goals from midfield. And if that happens, if Kante can become a goal-scoring midfielder with the running, the tackling, and the passing that he does, this guy will be insanely phenomenal. Insanely. If he can start adding goals and assists into his game in the system Sarri's trying to play him in, then he will be unreal, playing for France, playing for Chelsea, whatever. The third thing that could happen, Sarri bottles it and he thinks, I'm just going to play Kante when I need to play him when he's the best player in the world, he's best player in his position in the world, and then we'll make other people work around it or whatever. He goes back to that position, his form picks up, he tackles, he passes, he runs, does all this stuff, and he could do really well. So he's somebody who is massively undervalued in the index now. And if you look back to the World Cup, around about that time, when France were playing and he was playing in his best position next to Pogba, he's got a pre-established ceiling, call it £1.90. That's great growth on him. So he's somebody I would definitely be looking at. As you can see, even on a match day, if you look at the last 7 days, his swing isn't that great. 146 down to 143. It doesn't really move too much if you look at the lines. That's 3 months. He's very consistent. He's not somebody who makes big shifts, and that's because his form has been off. The people who are holding him longer will be thinking something very similar, if not identical, to what I've just described to you, and that's what they're holding for that light end of the tunnel. Okay, so also as well, guys, I wanted to touch on. I gave you a few strikers the other day, and it was more centred around their form, who's coming up, and all this sort of stuff as well. And I wanted to say, I hope if you've watched the video, you got on this guy when we spoke about him. He's already up a nice little chunk. We were speaking about him at £1.20, £1.21, something like that. So even from the last couple of days, he's grown by 20 pence, which is, I don't know, about what, a sixth of that. So a sixth would be about 15%. Something like that since we spoke about him. The game on Sunday's still to come. His potential for everything is still in play. Nothing's happened with Fiorentina versus Chievo at 11:30 on Sunday. he's only going to grow between now and then who knows what will happen. So there's still growth on him, guys. He's still cheap if you want to pick him up. You know, he's still there to be had. As you can see, I'm not holding him. I've not got any invested interest in you buying him, but we're just seeing the same trend that we've seen with Duvan the week before. Okay, that being said, guys, as well, as you look at my portfolio, I'm very tempted in recommending again something very strongly to you, and that is the boy Radamel. I've never seen him get below that £1 mark. I just cannot believe it. He's trading at 99 pence now. It's insane. Fair enough, he's 33. Fair enough, Monaco are doing crap there now, but he can still score goals. He's a penalty taker. He's a predator of a player, and the French league isn't known for being dull 0-0 draws everywhere. Even if Monaco are scrapping at the bottom, they're going to be scoring goals against teams. You know what I mean? And if he scores one goal, that's 2 pence. That is a shade over 2% at his value of 99 pence. You're instantly up by a shade of a fraction, you know. And then from there, it's onwards and upwards. He's a no-lose proposition right now, Falcao. He really is. There's also very, very, very tenuous links to Wolves. Jorge Mendes again. So even through the transfer window, guys, we've got another week to go. Anything could happen. You know, this guy, it could be a real surprise. You know, it was a surprise when he went to Man U and Chelsea. Both those times, he might think, do you know what, I go to Wolves, I've got a team built around me, I've got a Portuguese guy there, and, you know, I've got Moutinho. He knows Moutinho played with him at Monaco. Who knows? I don't think it's going to happen, but stranger things have. And also Suarez trading at £2.92 is a real bargain now, guys. Barcelona are a great team to be holding players in now. The run of form they've got coming up is phenomenal, and to pick this guy up for less than £3, comfortably less than £3 right now in the current market and his current value, yeah, is very good value. You know, I'm, you know, nothing I can do. I bought him at £3.3. It's just, it is what it is. But I'm already had £2 back of that. So if I was to sell him now, that -11 is really -9 because he scored a goal for me. You know. Anyway, so those two guys, honestly, if you've got a bit of spare money and you're after some goals this weekend, they're not, you know. Muriel's the one to really go for if you want a quick hit, but as I say, I just had to mention that Falcao's 99 pence because it's not going to stick there. He's not going to be there for long, and he will return back up. I'm tempted to dump the £10 I've got here in the top right and dividends onto him, but what I want to do is hold that £10 and roll that over when I sell Duvan into whoever we hold next. Okay, so we'll see how the weekend goes, guys. I'll drop another video probably tomorrow, but I just wanted to touch in midfield on a few midfielders, more in the same mould as the defenders I recommended. They're going to be a little bit longer holds. You will get some short-term benefits potentially. You know, it's not a buy them and then forget about them for 6 months. There's still something that could happen with them shorter term, kind of like your Luke Shaw. But yeah, have a great day, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you have watched the video, please like, subscribe, share, retweet if you find me on Twitter, all that good stuff, guys. And I'll chat to you tomorrow. Okay, ta-ra.